Hi, I'm Gabby Young, and together with Simple Sew, I'm going to show you some essential sewing skills. We're going to cover all the basics so that you can make their lovely new collection and make an outfit like I'm wearing. Enjoy! Alright, let's sew some French seams. So, normally you would put your seam right sides together, but here we're doing wrong sides together, so you can see that the two right sides of the fabric are on the outside. So you just want to pin it like a normal seam, pin the raw edges together. Now French seams are great for a professional finish because they hide all the raw edges. Now let's go over to the sewing machine. Okay, so we're going to sew against the edge of our sewing machine foot because you want it to be a much smaller seam. Basically, if your seam allowance is 1.5 centimetre, which a lot of them are, you want this seam and the seam you're about to do next to equal that. So I'm doing 0.5 here, which is exactly the width of my needle to the edge of my sewing machine foot. Remember to backstitch at the beginning and the end, hold in the stitches, and you just want to sew that seam. And so you see that we've got a nice seam on the right side there. Snip off any loose threads, and then we want to cut the seam allowance. We're just going to cut that in about a half. It's just so it doesn't get trapped when you turn it the other way around, and I have done that before, so always trim it down. And you're going to move to your ironing board and press the seam open. And then turn it the wrong side out, and you want to press the seam flat because this is where you're going to sew down now. So you want to have it nice and flat. And then I've just put a few pins in it to hold it in place as well before sewing the seam on the wrong side. Okay, back at the sewing machine, we're going to now use the 1 centimetre guide on your sewing machine plate, and then you just want to backstitch and then sew down the seam like you would a normal seam. That's how you sew French seams, easy! I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial. See you next time.